Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today I'm going to be casting for you a best of 3 from the Go4SC2 Cup. Now before I get too much into this game, I want to do one thing. You guys hear that? You guys hear that? That is the sound of my new sweet mechanical keyboard. It's so close to my microphone. You guys are probably hearing it way too much and you guys are hating it right now because it's probably blowing out your eardrums. This is my new mechanical keyboard. I am super excited for it, but I'm not sure that I will be able to cast with it because it is kind of loud. So let me know in the chat please, because I would love to know how loud this is actually coming out on the YouTube side of things. So let's start talking about this game a little bit. Spawning here in the... Whoa, I was going to introduce mouzMorroW first, but apparently now I'm looking at VortiX. So spawning here in the 7 o'clock position as the pink Zerg, we have VortiX. Spawning here in the 9 o'clock position as the red Terran, that's right, you heard me, Terran, we have playing for mouzSports, Now for those of you that don't know, mouzMorroW is typically a Zerg player. He's been a Zerg player for a very long time, but he absolutely hates the ZVZ matchup, feels it's just a little bit too coin flippy, and so he plays Terran. Anytime he has to be matched up against a Zerg, he just switches his race to Terran. So that's one thing that he likes to do. I don't know about his Terran play. I don't know, sometimes I like it, sometimes I feel like it's pretty creative and inventive, other times I feel like it's just a little lacking. I don't know, because he does kind of split up his play a little bit, because he does primarily main Zerg, but I don't know, he does alright though, he does alright, and I believe he was a Terran player in Brood War, so I think VortiX is going to get a drone kill there. Yes, he does manage to pick off that one SCV that was working on that barracks, and looks like he's actually coming down here for another one, but this other SCV going to be finishing up building that barracks and going to be hunting that little drone down, preventing him from dealing any more damage. One worker lost at this point in the game, not too bad of a loss, but it is something, and when it's coming down to a tournament match like this, well, you definitely don't want to be losing drones in the early game if you can avoid it. There we go, now the first Marine is out, and now that drone is going to be shoot away. Looks like VortiX did manage to go for that fast hatchery style of play, and then followed that up with a spawning pool as well as a gas geyser, and looks like if we check out the harvester count right now, we can see that it's pretty even right now. VortiX is a little ahead, 17 to 14. 17 to 15 now, and that is primarily because he got that one. Whoa, this is an interesting place supply depot here from mouzMorroW. I'm actually not at all I have no idea why he put that there. That is really weird supply depot placement. Don't really know the reason for that, but maybe that we will find out later. Now, what do we have here? We actually have a 2-Rax here coming out of mouzMorroW. Looks like he's going to be trying to put some early pressure on his opponent. Now, that drone did, of course, see that 2-Rax was going down here, and he looks like he's probably going to be expecting some pressure as he is now throwing down spine crawlers, starting to create a lot of Zerglings here. So far, 6 Zerglings out on the map, 4 more are on the way, 2 Queens are on the way as well. So, looks like VortiX is getting ready to have to hold off some pressure, and he's now sending in 1 Zergling across the map to try to see where that pressure is, because he was definitely expecting some early pressure, having scouted that 2-Rax. As we can see, mouzMorroW is just deciding to expand behind this, and he's not really going for a whole lot of pressure. Now, this is kind of a cool move here by mouzMorroW. I kind of like this. He knows his opponent scouted the 2-Rax, so rather than trying to risk getting in there and potentially losing a lot of forces, now, by just having his opponent see this 2-Rax and see that he has Marines out on the field, now VortiX is producing all these extra lings. These are all lings that could have been 6 extra drones right here. But now these are going to be lings that are pretty much useless. They can't really attack at this point in time. Too early to attack for slow lings. Can't really do a whole lot of damage right now. And so mouzMorroW just kind of forced a lot of Zerglings there by not really doing anything at all except for making Marines that he was probably going to make anyway. And now he's got an expansion coming up here. And look at this, he's even taking a 3rd right now. So mouzMorroW definitely trying to play a little bit more defensively here and playing a little bit with his opponent's mind. Now going to be moving in here. There's 1 Zergling moving across the map. Wants to know exactly what mouzMorroW's doing. Is mouzMorroW saving up for one big delayed push here? Or is mouzMorroW going to be just sitting back and playing defensive? Now, all the Marines are moving out. Looks like they are starting to take down the destructible debris here. And VortiX hasn't even started a hatchery there. He does have an Overlord here, so he does know that this is going on right now. And how much was VortiX able to see in base? Wasn't able to see anything at all. Doesn't even know that this expansion here went down. As far as he knows, there could be 16 Blue Flame Hellions in the base of mouzMorroW right now, getting ready to come attack him. He has no idea what his opponent is doing right now, and generally VortiX's Overlord spread right now is not generally the best right now. He's got a couple, or just one Overlord up here that I think he really needs to swing down to try to peek into the space and see what's going on, because right now he really is playing completely in the dark. He is ahead in the food count right now, 53 to 48. But looks like mouzMorroW, after taking down those destructible rocks, again is just going to choose to play it safe and pull back. Now he has one more barracks going up now, and I'm pretty sure this is a complete wall off. Yep, mouzMorroW is having to lift up one of those barracks to get all his units back into his own base. Now orbital commands are up there. He even has a third becoming an orbital command as well. Now this is an interesting version of the map. I am not 100% sure which version of the map this is. I was taking a look at this other expansion here. As you can see, the third expansion for both bases has a regular Vespene Geyser. It is not a rich Vespene Geyser, and each of these mineral patches, there are only 5, but they each only have 1,000 minerals, and I don't think that's typical of Terminus. Somebody let me know, though, if I am completely wrong in that. I'm pretty sure that normally there are 1,500 minerals on each of these mineral patches, because that is the standard amount to have on mineral patches. Now, holy cow, this is actually kind of cool. This is what mouzMorroW was doing. mouzMorroW was placing a supply depot here so we could put a Marine behind the depot and have it be on that Xel'Naga tower. Look at this. Now the Zerglings can't get to that one Marine, and that Marine's going to get a few kills before he can do anything. And yeah, VortiX is going to have to be forced to pull back, and now mouzMorrow's just going to control that Xel'Naga watchtower. I actually really like that. That is really cool from mouzMorroW, I've got to say. Now, VortiX has managed to scout that there are 3 barracks at the front, lots of Marines here. Hasn't seen what's going on in the base of mouzMorroW, though. If you were to see into the base of mouzMorroW, you would see that there was actually a 4th racks up with a tech lab researching that combat shield. Stim is also on the way. A factory is now down, siege tanks being produced, no siege mode up quite yet for mouzMorroW. And if we check out the harvester count right now, yeah, the harvester counts, mouzMorroW is doing pretty good in the harvesters. He's almost keeping up with VortiX here. VortiX has more workers, but he's only on 2 bases, as opposed to the 3 bases here of mouzMorroW. So mouzMorroW is actually, I think, going to be a little bit ahead in resources and income. Now, it looks like we do have the Spire now down for VortiX. Looks like mutas are now what are on the menu here for VortiX, as 9 Mutalisks are currently on the way. The Baneling Nest is up. We are currently at Lair Tech, and it looks like no Baneling speed being researched yet, but there it goes. Centrifugal hooks just starting right now. Definitely going to be needing that against the heavy Marine count he's seeing here from mouzMorroW, because that's all he really knows about. I think at this point in time, I don't think he's actually seen into his opponent's base at all. No, he hasn't seen anything other than these 3 barracks. He has no idea how many bases mouzMorroW is on. He doesn't know anything at all, and now mouzMorroW actually doing a smart job of placing some Marines here. I don't know if that's just because he saw these Mutalisks on that Xel'Naga watchtower or what, but oh, the Mutalisks are going to come in here. Almost manages to lose one, pulls back just in time. Nice little bit of control there from VortiX, and the supply depot finally falling there, and mouzMorroW losing that Marine that was stuck in that Xel'Naga watchtower. Now these Mutalisks are finally going to get to come in here and realize what is going on. He's going to come in here and see that mouzMorroW has actually managed to get up a 3rd base, and he's actually been mining on it for quite a while. One of the Mutalisks does go down there. And now VortiX is going to be trying to just get a little bit of map control here, but I think it's going to be very hard for him. The Marine count right now for mouzMorroW is really high. So I think mouzMorroW is actually going to be in a fantastic position. In the food count right now, mouzMorroW is actually ahead, and I think that's mostly because he's on that 3 base. He's got such a strong economy right now. Starport now up here for mouzMorroW, starting to create some medevacs. 2 engineering bays are up, as well as an armory coming up here for mouzMorroW. I think he'll probably be using that to get up some Thors very soon. Definitely a smart play, considering his opponent is going for Mutalisks, and more Mutalisks are still continuing to be produced. On the production tab, we can see Mutalisks are on the way. +1 air upgrades are on the way as well, and somewhere around here we've got I think no, there's actually no evolution chamber up right now here for VortiX. I just kind of assumed there would be one here, but looks like no, he's not going for any upgrades. It looks like he's going to be going for a big push here, as he is now producing a lot of Banelings. Banelings are something you definitely do not want to produce until you know your opponent is coming to attack you, or if you are going to attack your opponent. And I think, considering the fact that he's taking this 4th expansion, he wants to put some pressure onto his opponent, try to deal some damage here, and that's exactly why he's warping in all these banelings right now. They do have that centrifugal hooks upgrade, but the base for mouzMorroW right now is fairly well defended here. He's got a couple of siege tanks, lots of marines, needs to be very, very careful about how he micros those, just because the baneling count is really, really high. Beautiful creep spread here from VortiX as he's spreading it all across the whole map right now, spreading it, making a nice little creep highway to his opponent's base, but I think we can expect him to be spreading it around in other places very, very shortly here. Now, at this point, VortiX is definitely in full swing production. He's got a lot of mutalisks out on the field, continuing to produce lots and lots more mutalisks. Notice no more drones are on the production tab anymore. It is strictly going to be mutalisks and units right now. More lings are being produced. There we go. Now some more drones coming up now that this 4th base is now up here, and it looks like the destructible rocks are starting to go down here. mouzMorroW, does he know about this? I don't think he knows that that is actually happening yet. No, according to mouzMorroW, he thinks that those destructible rocks are still up. He's going to be so surprised when all these lings and banelings just come marching straight into his base here, and I don't know if he's going to be quite prepared for this as his siege tanks are over here. He's got one down here, but that's not going to be enough to hold off this big of a force here from VortiX. VortiX now getting some drones, getting on that 4th base, and mouzMorroW, I think he's kind of missed his opportunity here for a timing window. I think he was ahead for quite a while, but now I think VortiX is in full swing Zerg macro boss mode, and he's now producing lots and lots of lings, lots and lots of banelings, and he is about to get very, very aggressive here as he maxes at 200 food. mouzMorroW is still only at 180 food to the almost 200 of VortiX, and VortiX still holding back, not doing anything at all at the moment, except continuing to rally more units. No upgrades going down for VortiX right now. I don't know how I feel about this. He does have the +2 flyer attacks coming up right now. That's going to help him a bit, but I think what he really needs to be getting is an evolution chamber up. And ooh, here we go. mouzMorroW is now moving out here. Looks like VortiX is going to try to catch him before he gets sieged up. The siege tanks are now sieging up. All the banelings are coming in right now, and ooh, lots of baneling hits being taken here by these all these banelings going down, but oh man, all the siege tanks instantly getting cleaned up here, but beautiful micro there from mouzMorroW as he pulls back all his marines and lets the siege tanks absorb the damage. That's not what VortiX wants to do. You definitely don't want to lose your banelings to a bunch of siege tanks. It's the marines that you want your banelings to connect with, and now mouzMorroW is moving forward with a good number of marines, still has one siege tank in the mix. And VortiX trying to frantically get up some more units here. As we can see, tons of Zerglings right now on the production tab as he rallies a bunch more Zerglings. Banelings now in production here. But mouzMorroW is now pushing up to the front, taking control of that Zelnaga watchtower, scanning to get rid of some of that creep as he pulls back a couple of Thors now here in the mix for mouzMorroW as well. We currently see medevacs being added, more Marines being added, tons of barracks up right now here for mouzMorroW. Holy cow, that is a lot of barracks. That is 8 barracks, 5 of which are currently reactored up right now, and the other with no upgrades at all. And ooh, those Thors need to be very, very careful. And here come all the mutalisks. All the Zerglings are kiting back because they want these Thors to be able to take damage. And look at that Marine spreading there from mouzMorroW. That is boss-like Marine spreading. That is so good. Look at him. Now he's just pulling them all back together, and that was so well done there by mouzMorroW. mouzMorroW, despite not being a Terran player by default, his main is Zerg, he did an absolutely fantastic bit of Marine micro there. That was very, very nice. Looks like he does have a drop here going down at this 4th expansion, but that is going to be picked up here by VortiX. But in the meantime, he knows those mutalisks are out of position. He's stimming in right now, moving up forward, sieging up his siege tanks, and it looks like he might be able to pick off a couple of Mutalisks here, rather, and all the Overlords are currently out here. Ooh, those siege tanks getting so many hits on those banelings. So many banelings are going down to the forces of mouzMorroW, and more beautiful Marine micro there from mouzMorroW as mouzMorroW takes game 1 and VortiX GG's. Holy cow, that was beautifully played there by mouzMorroW. I actually really, really like his playstyle that game. That was absolutely incredible. Absolutely love that game. Gonna see if he can do it again in game 2. So stick with me, guys, to see whether mouzMorrow's gonna be able to pull off another win with some awesome Marine micro, or whether we'll see VortiX take game 2. Stick with me, guys.